This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to be looking at a money grab. We're going to be checking out the Masters of the Universe Stranger Things crossover figure set. I guess this would be set number 1 with Skeletor and the Demogorgon. Of course, set number 2 is going to be He-Man and Varys? Villas? Crap, I can't remember his name now. Damn it. So I like the packaging since they're trying to go with the whole showing the upside down deal. But I think honestly, what they should have done to really complete the look of this, the way they're trying to do it, we should have had the RetroPlay, Netflix, and Mattel logos and the 6 Plus on the bottom also flipped over. Because now we've got this way, and of course we can flip it like that, so we can show off a demo there or demo. And I think this would have looked a lot cooler if they'd gone ahead and put the RetroPlay logos and all that other stuff on the top too. So it really was a flippable package all the way around. Because once you have it this way, it kind of loses the the effect by having just the other information on one side but not the other. If we turn towards this side, we see the Demogorgon there holding his little staff of 20-sided dice. And if we flip it back around like this, we see Skeletor. And if we go all the way to the back, we get some information. And here we actually see Skeletor and the Demogorgon together. Although it makes me kind of wonder if Skeletor is supposed to be teaming up with the Demogorgon here in this case, but I don't know. Upside down Eternia. In his efforts to capture the power of Grayskull, Skeletor rips through the fabric of the universe into a new, darker world, the Upside Down. Now, subject to the rule of Vecna, Eternia counts once again on He-Man to fight back horrors like Demogorgon and return Eternia back home. Vecna. I should have looked at the back of the box while I was trying to say his name earlier. But again, I'm an idiot. So, we also have the little upside down thing here. Pull Havoc Staff or Hellfire Staff into hand. Put, not pull. Twist into powerful battle positions. Of course, they keep up with the upside down thing with the Demogorgon. Overall, the package art looks pretty good. I will have my complaints about the figure for Demogorgon, honestly, but we'll get into that in a minute. Just to take a moment here, I did want to look at this, and this looks really nice. The only issue I kind of think of offhand, okay, so we got the moon on both sides here. But why is, I know there were lots of trees in the Upside Down, but at the same time, I thought Will was like in a forested area in their actual like world too, because it's supposed to be the kind of opposite messed up reality, right? So these don't really match up in my opinion, is all I'm saying. So, though this artwork is pretty nice, I will probably have to scan this in and use it somehow for the background imagery. And I wonder if they'll do the same thing for He-Man. One of these days, I'm going to have to get a little thing of plastic nippers in order to cut the tabs on this stuff. Out of curiosity, how many people watch that waiting to see if I cut myself? All right, let's go ahead and start with Skeletor here. Um, Standard Skeletor figure. Surprisingly, they used the open mouth that was originally used for Origins. Um, Honestly, it looks a lot cooler though. In this color scheme, it doesn't look as goofy. I don't know what it is that makes this so much different, but it looks so much better than the previous release using this head. I think this is a winner. This may be my favorite basic vintage style Skeletor right here, right now. I think the color, it looks really. I like the darker color. I like the darker muted colors. I like the way the skull looks. The only thing that would have made this perfect is if they'd done some kind of a reflective red in those eyes. But I mean, this honestly, the open mouth was such a joke with the original release of Origins, and just something about this paint job just makes it look so much better. So much better. So let's go ahead and start with articulation on Skeletor here. Ball joint. Arm hinges up. Joints are really tight. We can spin around. Of course, his harness does cause issues with that. Less than 90-degree here. We have a spin at the wrist. And we have the hinge in and out. Waist swivel. Leg kicks up, yay far, which isn't a whole lot. Kicks back, yay far, again, not a lot. And a less than 90-degree hinge. Boot cut. Hinge. Up and down. Spin. Yeah, I know I'm going through this a little bit faster than I normally do, but we've seen Skeletor figures before. It really is just the deco on this that makes them glorious. And, I mean, if you look at this, they used, obviously, muted plastic, but they also did, like, a coat of gray, black over him just to give that extra detail. And it truly is quite magnificent. I mean, I don't usually gush that much about the way figures look, but you know, our Skeletors have not been the greatest, if I'm being honest. So we got the Havoc staff here. What's even weirder about this, I think this is the first Havoc staff I've gotten in this line that wasn't bent. Like, I don't know if the plastic on here is different than what they're mostly made of, but this one is definitely firmer than any of the other Havoc staffs in the Motu lineup. So Mattel, whatever plastic you used on here, keep using it on these things. And of course, they didn't give us a second gripping hand on him, which is kind of dumb because he does have a power sword. He has the full power sword this time. And without the little handle thing from the, or I guess the hand guard from the half sword, you can't have him hold it very well at all, I should say. So that's kind of a fail on that regard. And I don't know why they didn't, you know, for the extra, what, 2 cents it would have cost to produce it. I don't see why you couldn't have put the extra hand in there so that he could hold both weapons at one time. But, you know, it's either Havoc Staff or Power Sword. I'm also not sure why they gave us the full Power Sword with him anyway. But we can still do him like this, so that's fine. But now, let's get to our semi-new figure. Demogorgon. Of course, he is basically using Beastman's body with a new head sculpt, new hand sculpt, and new feet. Actually, and that, I think, let's take a quick look back here. The new feet are tall enough to make him just a little bit taller than Skeletor. Whoops. So, They also did the wash on here too to give him that darker coloring. So I'm not gonna lie. From whenever I watched Stranger Things, I did not consider the Demogorgon to be hairy. So I'm not sure why they used the Beastman body for it. And I mean, they literally used all of Beastman's equipment as well. But I guess maybe because it does differentiate it from the standard Motu bodies, that's the only reason I can think of for doing it. Because otherwise, I guess he would have just looked like Skeletor or He-Man. But he always looked more reptilian to me, possibly plant-like. So, but we've got our Demogorgon head sculpt here. Um, Beautiful, I guess. Now, I think this also would have been kind of cool if they had gone ahead and given us a second head with the mouth closed, because we know it opens up the mouth, this mouth area, in order to attack, right? It's not always open. So having the closed mouth would have been a nice additional feature and probably would have gotten people to buy multiple sets. Not everybody would. I'm stupid enough, I would have bought a second set to display both heads if they'd given that way. Plus, I'm not opposed to having another one of this Skeletor. I love this Skeletor. I cannot reiterate how much I love the look of this Skeletor. I'm gonna marry that Skeletor. No, anyway. So let's go over his articulation, which I think is gonna be really messed up on the head. So he is on a ball joint. Surprisingly, you can get it to twist all the way around, but Beastman's collar here does kind of get in the way a bit. His arms, of course, have the hinge up and down, and like the Skeletor, it is very tight, that hinge. We can also spin his arm. Both the basically the way all this stuff is set up, it's kind of interfering with the head or with the arm moving. So the head, the harness, it all kind of gets in the way, and his arm has popped out while I was doing that. I kind of want a Beastman in this color now. Could actually swap out the clothes and the armor on a red Beastman. I wonder how that would look. Like, we'd have to heat up the legs, pop them off, swap them out. This might be something I'll consider doing with the, if I get another one of Samurai Beastman. Anyway, moving on. Sorry, distracted. The hinge on this arm is actually better than most of the Masters of the Universe arms. So I think we're still not quite getting a 90-degree angle on it, but we're getting more than we do with most Masters of the Universe arms. Which has me wondering, is that actually Beastman's arm or is it a new arm? It's gotta be Beastman. Alright, so we have a spin here at the wrist. And we have in and out articulation. His hand is a new sculpt. Nasty looking hands, I guess. Clawed. The top finger is separated from the other fingers, but that's about it. Got some wicked looking fingernails. Let me see. Here we go. And then, of course, now we have the swivel at the waist like we always do. We have the same problem that we have with Beastman, and the little arm pads want to fall off. I think if they'd had Slacker in the works at the time, they should have gone ahead and just used his arm things on this one. I think that would have helped a bit. He kicks up like most of the Masters of the Universe figures, and he kicks back about the same amount. We get a joint there. It's a very tight joint, again, like the other ones have been. We get a spin at the leg. Boot cut. We have a hinge at the bottom for his feet. And of course, they can spin around too. In this case, though, because it is just a straight foot and not like curved into the heel, it does just spin directly around. And these are new feet as well. I mean, they could have probably gotten away with using the feet from, say, Whiplash on here or Buzz Off, but they went with a whole new one. Probably also to just make him a little bit taller. So actually, that would have been kind of cool though if this was another half-inch taller. And now, if our crown jewel of this figure is his head sculpt, the next, is there something on our crown jewel? Well, the next best thing is, of course, the weapon. This is a very unique weapon design. And it is in multiple parts because I can spin the whole thing around. But we know the flame effects also come off. And it looks like, as far as it goes, the die is attached right at this level here. I should get a pointer one of these days and just leave it here too. And it is sculpted. I mean, you see all the different numbers on there. I got a 6 and a 14. So, anyway, the flame effects are also supposed to be able to attach to his arm. Oh, I see. Okay. So you can attach it to the arm and the finger like that, so that it looks like he's doing something with a punch. That quick movement. If you play by Dead by Daylight, you probably also know what I'm talking about. Anyway, I think I would be careful doing that though because of the whole. This is a very firm plastic. It is clear plastic, so we all know how that often ages. Uh, I will most likely just be keeping it on the dice weapon. But still, these effects are actually cool looking. I do like them. I feel like if they do it out of other plastic, it can be used for other things as well. But again, then we have his weapon that, with the design of this hand, it is not going to be easy to put it in there. Or maybe it'll be easier than I thought. I thought for sure I was going to have to like jimmy the hands around. I'm not sure. I guess they give him a weapon because it's Masters of the Universe, and Masters of the Universe figures have weapons. Then we can go ahead and put the flame effects back into place. And doing them on opposite sides at least makes it look like he might be spinning the weapon around. So, hold it out. Unfortunately, that joint is too weak to actually hold it out. That's sad. And we can spin him at the wrist. Boom. Boom. Like so. I wonder if the other hand will hold it better. Because, like, neither hand is really designed as a gripping hand, to be fair. That joint's a lot better. So, we'll keep it in that one, I think. But like I said, none of my thoughts on this character in the show was that he was furry. And maybe the fur is kind of supposed to look like the skin wrinkly stuff. Maybe that's what they were expecting it to turn out, or what they were trying to replicate with this. But overall, I mean, if you're a fan of Stranger Things and Masters of the Universe, I don't think you're going to be disappointed in this. And again, I think this may be the best looking Skeletor we have in this lineup right now. If this goes on clearance, I am definitely buying another one. And there are multiple Demogorgons, so aside from just having too many Skeletors, Demogorgon could be a nice army builder. I definitely look forward to seeing the Vecna He-Man set. I don't think He-Man's going to be quite as nice looking. But I would definitely say go for this set, man. It is nice. And I found it actually in store at Target. the website and app did not say that they were in stock. So I feel like I got lucky. But yeah, let me know what you think. And do you have the same issue with like the body that they used with him that I did? Like, just it just doesn't feel like he should have a furry body, or to you, does it look more like skin wrinkles and not fur? And maybe that's my issue, is I'm just so used to that hairiness for Beastman and Stratos, and I can't get past it in my head. But otherwise, yeah, this looks great. And I kind of want a Beastman in this color, like I said. I think that'd be kind of cool too. But definitely the only negative here is that they did not give us a closed Demogorgon head. I think that would have been a I think that would have made this a near perfect set then, aside, from the fur. Uh, but I want to know what you guys have to say on this one. And are you a fan of Stranger Things? This is definitely a unique toy to have for your Stranger Things line too. Anyway, please comment below what you're thinking about this. If you're trying to get it yourself, or if you're like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen, because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are thinking that. And I definitely want to know what your opinion is on this Skeletor. I just, I feel so stupid. It's like I'm simping for a toy right now. Anyway, uh, if you like this video, please hit the like button, and a subscription would be great if you're new here. And I appreciate you watching. Peace and love.